Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its mission? To explore strange new worlds, to discover new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Vengeance.
Captain's log. We are arriving at the last known position of the USS Republic, which reported that it was under attack 12 hours ago.
Captain, the ship's sensors have picked up what appears to be a starship. Minimal life support, minimal engine power, and only 2 life forms, one on the bridge, the other in sickbay. Both appear to be gravely injured. It is the Republic.
Spock, come with me. Mr. Scott, you have the con.
I am preparing an information packet for Starfleet. Shall I send it or wait for you to return?
Send it now. If a hostile ship arrives, head immediately for Starbase 24. Wait until we get back. No sense giving Starfleet incomplete information. If anyone else arrives, beam us aboard and raise shields immediately. Send it now. If a hostile ship arrives, head immediately for Starbase 24.
My God, Jim, what kind of butcher would do something like this?
I don't know, Bones. We're too far from the Klingon and Romulan borders for it to be one of their ships.
Enterprise to Captain Kirk.
Kirk here. What is it, Scott?
We picked up a distress signal. It appears a trading vessel is having a wee bit of trouble with her warp drive. What condition is the Republic in?
It's a mess, Scotty. Life support's functioning, but that's about it.
I've done a primary scan of the Republic's systems. Main and auxiliary power is out. Life support is stable. I also read that communications are operable.
Should we beam you back, Captain?
Do the sensors read any other ships in the sector?
Besides the trade vessel, this sector is clear, sir.
Mr. Scott, we will continue here. Assist the trade ship and return here. If we need assistance, we'll contact you.
You sure you'll be all right, Captain?
Yes, Scotty, just don't take too long. Kirk out. Well, gentlemen, let's see if we can re-establish power.
Jim, don't forget, there's another survivor on board. We've got to find him.
Well, welcome back to Let's Play Star Trek 25th Anniversary, and boy oh boy, look at the mess they put us in now.
The view screen is not functioning.
Public would have had a crew of over 430 men and women and other humanoids, and now they're all dead, all but one.
You are on what's left of the bridge of the USS Republic. Main computer banks. They appear to have been damaged. This person is dead. Here is the body of Captain Patterson of the Republic. He didn't die without a fight. This person is dead. This man is dead. Main computer banks. They appear to have been damaged. Captain James T. Kirk. This is not one of the best days of his life. Dr. Leonard McCoy. You have rarely seen him as shaken as he is now. Mr. Spock awaiting orders. Ensign Keege, who wishes that Lieutenant Stackpole had drawn this assignment.
We've finished taking in this gruesome scene.
Dick Patterson and I weren't exactly friends, but this...
What kind of a butcher would do this sort of thing?
I recommend checking as many of the logs and sensor records as possible.
I feel sick.
Well, tricorder readings, Mr. Spock?
Tricorder readings indicate that the ship is running on minimal battery power. Only life support and essential systems are currently running. Captain, records indicate that this ship was attacked by a Constitution-class starship.
Any idea of which one it was?
I am reading a record of a transponder signal, NCC 1701. It's the Enterprise, Captain.
Someone must have tampered with the computer records.
May I remind you, Doctor, that the main computer of a Constitution-class starship has safeguards against such an intrusion. Furthermore, I do not see any discrepancies in any of the files that I am able to access.
Wow, this is brilliant.
There are no more computer entries accessible from this station.
What about the captain's chair?
Dr. Leonard McCoy. This is the captain's chair where the captain's log is stored.
Let's see if we can get any readings off of that.
Nothing to report. My tricorder has picked up the final entry of the Republic.
We're under attack. Our sensors are inoperative. We're trying to get shields up. Our rear deflectors down. It appears our enemy is a Constitution-class starship. We've tried to defend ourselves. We've hailed them, but no response.
That's all there is, Captain.
Dick Patterson was never one for making long speeches.
McCoy, any survivors?
They're dead, Jim. All of them.
What about Patterson?
They're dead, Jim. All of them. We're too late. This man must have died just a few moments ago.
Can you bring him back?
Punctured lung, nerve damage, brain damage, fractured arm and ribs. It's a miracle he lasted as long as he did. He's not coming back, Jim.
Damn it, McCoy, try harder.
They're dead, Jim. All of them. They're dead, Jim. All of them.
Damn it.
They're dead, Jim. All of them.
Well, I don't know if there's anything else we can do here for now. So let's proceed to the turbo lift. Maybe auxiliary control isn't as badly damaged. So let's see, we are at the bridge.
The crewman's death was pointless, just like too many deaths in human history.
Amen to that.
There is a twisted mess of wire and metal falling from the gaping hole in the ceiling. It is blocking access to Turbo Lift 2, one of the many battered corridors of the USS Republic. It has seen better days, much better days. This door leads to sickbay. Spock says nothing, but this tragedy stirs something in his Vulcan soul. Kirk is increasingly distressed by what he has seen. McCoy examines his tricorder, knowing that his hopes are not going to be fulfilled. Keege struggles with emotions he never knew he had. One of the many battered...
Anything else we can look at? Not particularly.
One of the many battered...
Thoughts, everyone?
I wish I were a poet. I wish I had the words to match how this makes me feel. These people were Starfleet officers, giving their lives to explore the cosmos. I wish I knew some eulogy that did them justice.
Damn this tricorder. Why couldn't one of them be alive?
Be careful, Captain. This ship is a death trap.
A poor choice of words, Ensign.
Turbo lift ahead, Captain.
Tricorder readings?
There's nothing there, There's nothing there, This person's dead, Jim.
Damn it. Tricorder readings, Mr. Spock.
Nothing to report. Nothing to report. The debris is highly unstable, Captain. I recommend we try to find a support of some kind to secure the ceiling.
Let's see if we can clear it.
Captain, the support beam for the ceiling is damaged here. There will be no way to safely clear out the debris without a replacement.
Very well, Mr. Spock. Let's head into sickbay. Boy.
I can't believe it. That's Brittany Murata. I knew her from my academy days. We studied alien history together.
She's suffering from severe trauma and internal bleeding. I'll see what I can do.
Do what you can, Bones. I need to find out what happened here.
She's in bad shape, Jim. I've tried to stabilize her, but it doesn't look good.
No! You won't get us!
Murata, what happened?
They said it was the Enterprise. had visual confirmation.
What about the Enterprise?
You killed us, Jim. We were friends for I trusted you.
It wasn't the Enterprise, Murata.
There's nothing more I can do.
Damn it. McCoy, you've got to do something.
There's nothing more I can do. He's dead, Jim. I can't bring him back.
Another senseless
You
death.
see the dead body of Brittany. Her life was cut short, and you won't stop until you find the persons responsible. A very concerned Dr. Leonard McCoy. This is the Republic's sick bay. Fortunately, power is still functioning here. The medical scanner has registered the death of Brittany Murata. This is the Republic's... This monitor has recorded the death of a patient.
Oh, you couldn't even give him a name, come on.
Yet another crewman of the Republic whose life was unfairly abbreviated. This is the Republic's... James T. Kirk, in total confusion at the moment. Mr. Spock looking pensive as usual. A very unhappy-looking Ensign Keege. This medical drill fires a microscopic phaser beam. This is an empty hypodermic injector. This door leads back to...
Alright, thoughts, everyone?
Life support must have gone down during the fight. Most of the people died from shock before the backup systems came online.
You always hope the instruments are wrong, but you'll find someone alive.
That won't bring her back. She's gone.
I believe nothing needs to be said, Captain.
Captain, did I ever mention how much I hate hospitals?
Alright, track our rings, Mr. Spock.
This is an empty This medical drill fired...
Nothing to report. Nothing to
Alright, we can't interface with anything. Let's grab what we can.
You pick up the empty hypodermic injector. You retrieve the medical drill.
Let's keep searching, see if we can find answers to what happened here.
Well, gentlemen, let's see if we can re-establish power.
It looks like we can make it to auxiliary control, so let's go there now. Oh, even auxiliary control got hit hard.
This corridor leads to auxiliary control. It is a real mess. Yet another crewman of the Republic whose life was unfairly abbreviated. This is the maintenance panel for the auxiliary control room door. This door leads to auxiliary control.
The vent is far too small for any one of us to fit through. It is also blocked 0.3 meters inside the duct.
Almost looks like there's something shiny in there, or electricity maybe.
A molecular saw, the 23rd century equivalent of a hacksaw.
Could be useful. Tricorder reading, Mr. Spock.
Readings of the door indicate a jam in the gear mechanism.
Oh, that's not good.
Tricorder indicates that the panel is currently sealed by Federation standard molecular bonding cement. Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report. The vent is far too small for any one of us to fit through. It is also blocked 0.3 meters inside the duct. This is a molecular saw, Captain. It is used for precision cutting. My tricorder reads that the power cells are fully charged.
You fail to obtain...
Well, let's get the saw at least.
You retrieve the molecular saw.
I was hoping we could use that pipe. Thoughts, everyone?
I wonder if anything will be working in auxiliary control.
The Starfleet engineers did their work well, Captain. A surprising amount of the ship is intact.
Too bad you can't say the same for the crew.
I'm not in a talking mood right now, sir.
I'd like to meet the people responsible for this and give them a piece of my mind.
You'll get your chance, Bones, I promise.
Let's see if we can get this vent open.
There is nothing at the moment for me to do there.
What about, I think it's this. Can we use this?
Nothing happens.
Oh. Let's see what we can do about this control panel.
The panel has been fastened shut with some kind of sealant.
Well, we might be able to use this to cut through the sealant.
The drill easily breaks through the seal of the panel.
Excellent.
This is the maintenance panel for the auxiliary control room door. The panel opens easily.
Alright. What we got in there?
A knot of debris is jamming the gear mechanism.
Oh, can we maybe just pull it out?
The debris is jammed in too tight.
Alright. Oh, McCoy. Life sign readings.
They're dead, Jim. All of them.
The door is jammed shut.
Alright, let's head back to the turbo lift. I think we've done all we can here for now. Let's go back up to the bridge.
A common titanium duranium support beam which has snapped away from the hull.
Hey, we need a support beam to get past the debris.
The support beam is still attached to the hull.
Not for long. Hacksaw, go!
The molecular saw easily cuts through the beam, separating it from the hull. You pick up the beam. It's a little heavy, but you manage it.
Alright, let's go back down to sick bay. Which is down here. Now, if we use the support beam to prop up,
A common titanium duranium support beam which has snapped away from the hull.
if we use the support beam, we can prop up the ceiling. Alright, why don't you walk back here first, and now let's see if we can phase our way to the debris.
The ceiling appears stable. We should now be able to use Turbo Lift 2, Captain.
Excellent.
This is a length of heavy-duty insulated power cable.
Oh, that looks like something we might want to grab.
Nothing to report.
This is a length of heavy... You have taken the cable. This door leads to Turbo Lift 2.
Any surprises in there for us, Mr. Spock?
Nothing to report, Captain.
Excellent. Alright, so we are now in this turbo lift, which gives us access to the transporter room, as well as engineering. Let's start by going to engineering.
Captain, I'm picking up a functioning energy source in the immediate vicinity.
Could be useful later.
This corridor leads to the Republic's engineering section. These ladders are used when turbo lifts are unavailable. Unfortunately, it is blocked by debris and a small smoldering fire. This door leads to main engineering. A resolute Mr. Spock. A sad but determined James T. Kirk. Ensign Keege, learning that Starfleet isn't always very pleasant. Dr. McCoy avoids the glances of his crewmates. A look of terror is still etched on the face of this crewman.
McCoy, any hold for him?
This person's dead, Jim.
Damn it. Record readings, Mr. Spock.
Nothing to report, Captain. I'm picking up a high-energy power source somewhere under the debris. I recommend caution, Captain. Nothing to report. Nothing to report, Captain.
Alright, well, in that case, maybe we should just phase through the debris away from a distance.
Oh my God, Jim, is that what I think it is?
Yes, Doctor. It is a portable fusion power pack.
A few centimeters lower with that phaser and half this section would be history, not to mention us.
Actually, Doctor, 3.2 centimeters. And based on our proximity to the explosion and the angle of the beam.
Thank you, Spock. I think we get the point.
In any case, we're alive.
This is the most powerful portable energy storage device ever developed by man. It is used to provide temporary power to small systems when main or auxiliary power is unavailable.
Be useful, Mr. Spock?
A standard portable fusion power pack. It is fully functional, Captain.
We'll come back to that later, when we find something to power. Main engineering.
This was the engineering section of the USS Republic. This man is dead. These are the controls to the Republic's impulse engines. This is the fusion mixture regulator for the Republic's impulse engines. This is the fusion mixture. This is a junction box used for temporary rerouting of engineering circuits. This was the engineering section of the USS Republic. This is a standard storage closet. Kirk wonders if the landing party has overlooked anything. Spock glances at his tricorder, making certain the superstructure of the Republic is stable. McCoy wonders when it will be his turn to die in the line of duty.
Don't worry, McCoy. You won't die in the line of duty.
Keege fidgets nervously.
Well, first off, let's see what's in this storage closet box thing.
The closet opens, revealing a library of engineering technical journals.
Interesting.
This is a library of engineering technical journals.
These journals may prove useful in our attempt to re-establish power. A functioning computer terminal will allow us to examine them.
This is a canister of high-grade multipurpose oil, very useful for lubricating machinery.
That could be handy.
Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report.
Alright, let's grab everything.
You take the engineering technical journals. The oil canister is bolted to the hull and can't be taken.
Well, that's interesting. Let's use the hypo then, which I believe is empty.
The hypo is now filled with multipurpose oil.
I can think of a use for that, but first off, let's grab that power pack and come back here. Because I think this is where we'll end up needing to use it.
You pick up the portable fusion power pack.
Let's get some thoughts first.
This reminds me of a poem I read when I was a child. I am Ozymandias, king of kings. Look upon my works, ye mighty, and despair.
You have good reason to despair here, Jim.
There has been a .0003 degradation in hull integrity in the last hour. There should be no danger, Captain.
Remind me to compliment Mr. Scott on the efficiency of his engineering section.
Given that Mr. Scott has received a Starfleet citation on 5 occasions for efficiency, I do not see the logic in your suggestion, Doctor.
Tragic, Captain. This is one of the greatest disasters in Starfleet history.
McCoy, can anything be done for that man?
This person's dead, Jim.
Mr. Spock, tricorder readings.
The impulse engines are intact, Captain. We could use the fusion reactors from the impulse engines to restore power, but the lines have been severed to the power regulator.
Can we reroute the power lines?
We should be able to, Captain, if we can find a suitable supply of power cable. We will need to route the power through a junction box so we can set an impedance level. A direct connection to the regulator would cause an overload.
So we'll need the engineering journals to learn about that.
Nothing to report, Captain. Captain, this is the fusion mixture regulator for the impulse engines. There is currently no power running to it. Nothing to report.
Alright, well, I think we can head out for now. There's work to be done. So let's head to the transporter room. Holy shit. It's like each corridor we go to looks worse and worse.
This corridor leads to the transporter room. A large piece of equipment has fallen through the ceiling. The area looks extremely unstable. Fortunately, the entry to the transporter room is near. A large piece of equipment has fallen.
I do not see the need for conversation, Captain. Humans have an irrational enjoyment of endless discourse.
I haven't seen anything this bad since I was aboard the Farragut. And this vampire cloud...
It does get better than this, doesn't it, Captain?
I'd like to meet the people responsible for this and give them a piece of my mind.
Check our rings, Mr. Spock.
It appears to be a section from a coolant exhaust port. I would not recommend too close of an inspection, Captain. The floor could collapse from our added weight.
Sounds like solid advice to me, Mr. Spock.
These controls set the coordinates for the transporter. The transporter room appears to have escaped serious damage. The transporter room...
I won't exactly call this escaping serious damage.
The transporter room... Keege is eager to perform his duties. Dr. McCoy avoids the glances of his crewmates. A resolute Mr. Spock. Kirk is extremely worried.
Check order rings, Mr. Spock.
Nothing to report. Nothing to report. Nothing to Surprisingly, the transporter controls have escaped damage.
Can we use the transporter controls, Mr. Spock? Doesn't look like that.
The impulse engines are not generating any power for this system. I fail to see...
These are the power conduits for the transporter system.
Can we do anything with that?
Nothing to report.
Doesn't look like it. Let's see, can we get into the weapons bay?
Turbo lift access is blocked by an extremely high radiation level. Turbo lift access.
Is there an alternate path? We can go to it. Alright, so let's go back to sick bay and then auxiliary control. Let's do what we can for now. So now we actually have some lubricant to loosen this stuff up.
The oil seeps into and loosens the debris. The gears are completely cleared of debris.
Excellent.
This corridor leads... The gear mechanism for the door is now fully functional.
So we should be able to just walk right in.
This is the Republic's auxiliary control room. It appears to be in better shape than the main bridge. This is the impulse power allocation control. Indicators currently show no power output from the impulse engines.
Okay.
The auxiliary control room view screen is still operating. It is displaying a view of empty space. Spock wishes that Mr. Scott were here. Kirk is dismayed by the damage that was done to auxiliary control. Ensign Keege doesn't see the need for a security escort. McCoy wishes that Mr. Scott were here. These are Federation standard record decks.
Well, let's pick them up.
You take the record decks. This is the Republic's auxiliary control room. It appears to be in better shape than the main bridge. This is a standard input-output slot for record decks.
Alright, well, let's start using the record decks. Which ones are which? I assume these are the record decks?
Captain's log.
Stardate 6087.6. The Republic is currently approaching the Vardane system. Sensors have detected unusual energy fluctuations near one of the Vardanian moons. Starfleet has ordered us to investigate.
Vardane, we've read about them before.
Vardane, the name for the third planet in the Harlequin system. Vardane is a reclusive member of the Federation, formed by isolationist humans in the late 22nd century. Vardane is a technocratic society which has received Federation assistance on numerous occasions, but has not shared its own scientific advances. Allegedly sponsoring banned eugenics experiments, the inquiry of Stardate 4650.6 was indefinitely postponed at request of the Vardane government. Recent alleged rights violations of Turgan 3 immigrants has prompted further Federation investigations. Turgan 3, A-Class M planet, recently evacuated after Sun entered its expansion phase of its cycle. The only remaining inhabitant is Turgan Solar Expansion Observation Project. Turgan immigrants have allegedly been pressed into cheap labor on Vardane. Numerous allegations of sentient rights violations have prompted a Federation investigation.
Captain's log, Stardate 6087.8. We are under attack by 2 unidentified ships. I don't know how they could have approached undetected. They must have some kind of cloaking device, although there are no reports of Romulans in this sector. Captain's log, Stardate 6088.1. We have successfully driven off our assailants. Major damage has been sustained by our warp engines. Communications has reported that USS Enterprise is in sector. I requested Mr. Scott's assistance in repairing damage to the Republic. With luck, we will be fully operational in a couple of days.
No, I've seen cloaking devices. It's not Klingons or Romulans, but we've seen the Elasi with that technology, I believe. They have been attacked by the Elasi. I think they're active in this sector.
Captain's log, Stardate 6088.5. First Officer Andrade commanding. The Enterprise has inexplicably opened fire upon us. Captain Patterson has been mortally wounded. We have sustained major damage to all systems. Impulse power is out. We cannot understand why.
There are no more log decks, Captain.
Anyone have thoughts on this?
What a mess. I wonder what we can do to fix this.
I'm glad this isn't the Enterprise.
If there's anything I can do, sir, just ask.
I believe nothing needs to be said, Captain.
Mr. Spock, how about those engineering record decks?
Captain, I have examined the engineering journals. According to Chapter 18, we can run...
Jim, do we really need a lesson in starship engineering?
Spock, just tell me if they will help.
Why, yes, Captain. I have memorized all pertinent data, Captain. There is no need to re-examine the journals.
Alright, can we get some tricorder readings, Mr. Spock?
The impulse power allocation controls are functional, but there is no power available, Captain. Nothing to report.
These are the auxiliary helm and navigation controls for the Republic. Though they are intact, the ship is in no condition to move under her own power.
This input-output slot for the record decks is still functional, Captain.
Alright, let's head back to engineering. Get some power in here. So let's see if we can use this power pack.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Oh, come on. We gotta be able to use it on something. Let's start with the wires, maybe?
Nothing happens.
There we go.
You connect a length of cable between the regulator circuits in the junction box.
Now, surely we can use...
Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. These are the impulse.
What's in here?
This was the engineering.
I fail to see the impulse engines are intact.
Can we reroute the power line?
We should be.
Can we use this yet?
It is illogical to use this machine.
Okay.
Captain, this is the fusion mixture regulator for the impulse engine. I fail to see the logic in that action.
Okay. We must have missed something.
Captain, it is unadvisable to approach too closely.
Is the fire in danger of spreading, Spock?
No, Captain. There is an inadequate supply of flammable material. It will eventually burn itself out.
Okay, well, hopefully that means we can access the area later. Let's head down to...
Turbo lift access is blocked by an extremely high radiation level.
If only we could clear that radiation somehow. Or beam past it. Oh, hey, I didn't even see there's another cable here.
This is a length of heavy-duty insulated power cable. You pick up a length of cable.
Now we should be able to go back to engineering and plug the other end in.
You connect a length of cable between the impulse engine and the junction box.
Alright, Mr. Spock.
Please select an impedance.
Spock?
Captain, the information obtained from the engineering journals indicates the correct impedance setting to be 19,000 ohms.
Go ahead and adjust the settings, Spock.
Power has now been restored, Captain.
19,000 ohms? Jesus Christ. Normally you want a low impedance for... standard impedance for electrical test equipment and measurement equipment is typically 50 to 75 ohms. I mean, at 19,000 ohms, you know, you're just wasting energy there.
I fail to see the regulator is fully operating from the power tap run from the impulse engines. We can allocate power to ship systems in auxiliary control.
Alright, well in that case, let's head back to the transport room one last time. Maybe we can use the... Actually, what's that black spot?
This was the engineering...
Doesn't tell us. Okay, can we walk up there? Nope, we can't do a sky. Alright. Well, first let's refill our hypo.
The hypo is already filled with oil.
It was never emptied, okay. We have the hypo of unlimited regeneration. Wherever you put it, you get more of it. Then we use the fusion power pack on this.
Nothing happens.
Wait, these are the power packs.
Spock, would it be possible to connect the fusion power pack directly into the transporter power circuits?
Fascinating. It can be done. However, the transporter will only be able to transport a single person.
Do it, Spock.
God, it sounds like some sort of Windows boot up sound.
You
almost.
look but see nothing of note.
Alright, so we have transporter power. We'll leave this speed for now. And let's head over... I like how there's that guy just randomly in the ceiling. Still can't get there. Maybe we can use the ship systems to clear some of the radiation? Auxiliary control. Alright, let's see if we can reroute power.
Spock, what is the situation with the impulse engines?
The main computer is too badly damaged to actively control the power circuits.
Okay, Mr. Spock, can you manually reroute?
Spock, what is the situation with the impulse?
The main computer...
tricorder. Can we do the tricorder?
Power is
linking?
available, but the main computer is too badly damaged to actively control the power circuits. Power is available.
Okay, how do we fix it then?
These are the auxiliary...
Can we use these kinds?
Mr. Spock, what is the condition of the fire control system?
There currently is no power being allocated to the weapons system. Even if there was a power source, the damage to the main computer is enough to prevent power allocation to that system.
Okay, what about...
There is nothing at the moment from...
Mr. Spock, can you,
Nothing to report, Captain. I fail to see the logic in that action, Captain.
Hope we go back up to the main bridge. Oh, wait, I didn't... There is... Is this on here?
Damage from the battle has disabled the ship's main computer.
Mr. Spock, tricorder readings.
Mr. Spock, what is the status of the ship's computer?
There is extensive damage to the main processing unit of the ship's computer. It will take several days at a starbase to repair.
We don't have several days, Mr. Spock.
Unless we can find a suitable computational alternative, there will be no way to control the ship's systems.
That's just great, Spock. We don't exactly carry an M5 computer in our inventory.
Correct, Doctor. However, there may be another alternative. Linked tricorders, along with the circuits in the data reader, should have the processing power necessary to control a single starship system.
Thank goodness for parallel processing. I don't know what computers could do without it.
Alright.
Nothing to report.
Hook up the tricorders, Mr. Spock.
Spock crudely attaches the science tricorder to the computer console. Spock crudely attaches the medical tricorder to the computer console.
Both tricorders are rigged into the main computer's central processing unit. We now have enough computational power to control a single ship's system. With impulse power online and the tricorders performing computer control, I can divert power to
Weapons. Shields. Transporter circuits. Weapons. Shields.
Oh, it's shields and something just cloaked directly in front of us.
Shields are up, sir. Captain, look! An Alassi ship.
That ship was cloaked.
Fascinating.
Is that all you can say?
Captain, we are being hailed by the Alassi captain.
Put it on screen, Spock.
Well, if it isn't Captain Kirk. Fancy meeting you out here all alone in such a shabby starship.
What do you want?
You should be more civil, considering your enterprise is far away on a mercy mission helping that poor traitor.
It was a setup?
I can see why they made you captain.
I assume since you haven't blasted us to bits, you want something.
Why, yes I do. It seems you failed to give one of my associates some rather important information.
The Masada, I presume. You want the locations of all your imprisoned comrades?
Yes, Kirk. The Republic's computers will have the data just as your Enterprise would. I give you 1 minute to comply.
Just try and get it. You can't threaten me. It will take time. The controls are smashed and the main computer's badly damaged. It will take hours to get power to the computer banks. Just try and get it. It will take time. The controls are smashed and the main computer's badly damaged. It will take hours to get power to the computer banks.
Maybe I should just pump a few torpedoes into your shields and check it out for myself.
The Republic will fall apart if you fire on us. Then you'll never get the data.
All right, Kirk. We'll do it your way. I would rather not kill you. Besides, as an old friend that wants to meet you, I give you 30 minutes. And remember, no tricks.
Captain, the main computer is far beyond.
Shut up, Spock.
30 minutes then. Kirk out.
Alright, so we have a time limit. Let's see what we can do. Oops. Thoughts, everyone?
Fascinating. A cloaked Alassi.
I'm not one to overlook strategic implications, Mr. Spock, but we can save that for another time. We don't have much time for talk. The Alassi are known for their punctuality.
We got 30 minutes.
Captain, do you suppose the Alassi might have used cloaking technology to project a false image of a ship the Republic would trust?
That is beyond the Alassi's capabilities, Ensign.
Cloaked Alassi. I wonder who the old friend they mentioned is.
I don't know, Bones.
Alright. I got an idea. Let's head down to the transporter bay. We can't directly get to the weapons bay. Maybe we can beam someone there.
I fail to see the... This unit is fully functional, but I do not see the logic in...
Oh, actually, that raises a good point.
They are jamming all frequencies, Captain. We will not be able to contact the Enterprise.
Damn it. Set back up to auxiliary control. Still can't get the weapons, right?
Turbo lift access.
Alright. Alright, we're using the tricorders.
Mr. Spock, what is the condition of the fire control system?
There is no power allocated to the weapons system, Captain.
There is nothing at the moment from... There is nothing at the moment.
It would not be prudent to remove... With impulse power online...
Weapons. Transporters. Weapons. Shields.
Power has already...
Alright, so what can we do here?
There is nothing at the moment from... There is nothing at the moment from...
Can we get,
I fail to see the...
use the systems.
With impulse power on...
Weapons. Shields. Weapons.
Captain, the Alassi can surely detect the lowering of our shields. They will undoubtedly try to board us if we lower them.
Yes, that is true. But we don't have many other options.
They are jamming all frequencies, Captain. We will not be able to contact the Enterprise.
This is the fire control. A red flashing light is currently indicating a jam in the torpedo loading mechanism.
Captain, the torpedo loading system is malfunctioning. To clear it, we will have to physically examine the mechanism. Currently, all turbolift access to the torpedo bay is blocked by a hull breach. It is imperative that we get the weapons online.
Ah. I think now we have our plan of action. Head down to the sick bay, then to the transporter room. Got an assignment for you, Ensign, was it?
Keege is eager to perform. Keege is eager to perform.
Keege, I got some duties for you to perform.
I fail to see...
Damn it, Spock. Use the transporter console.
Transporter systems are operational, Captain. Coordinates have been set to the photon torpedo loading bay. I fail to see the... I fail to see the lot... I fail to see... I fail to see the...
He looks at you with a... He looks at you...
Spock, please check out the transporter. Ensign Keege, I want you to beam into the torpedo bay and unjam the loading mechanism. If you don't succeed, we'll all be on permanent shore leave in an Alassi jail.
I'll do my best, sir.
There we go.
Do it, Spock.
I've reached the torpedo loading bay, Captain. It's not too badly damaged, fortunately.
What's causing the malfunction in the loading mechanism?
The inner loading door is stuck in the closed position. Now, I can force it open, but when the loading cycle has begun, the room will lose pressure. We won't be able to beam back here again.
Do it, Ensign. We'll just have to gamble that the system doesn't jam again.
The door's open, Captain. I'm ready to transport back.
Beam him back, Spock.
Well done, Engage. Now let's prepare to give the Alassi a surprise. Oops, I don't want to go to sickbay. Alright, let's head to auxiliary control. Alright. Sail them.
Well, Captain Kirk, I trust you and your valiant crew have retrieved the data I requested.
Not yet. We're having trouble accessing all the data files. Yes, we have. You'll have to beam over and get it, though. The computer's subspace transmitter is out.
How convenient, Kirk. We'll beam over, but no tricks. My sensors read that only your shields have power. Lower them now.
We'll comply. Kirk out.
Mr. Spock? Lower the shields.
With impulse power online and the tricorders performing computer control, I can divert power to
Weapons.
Power allocated to weapon systems, Captain.
Sensors indicate that the Alassi ship has lowered its shields. I suggest we prepare you a surprise soon, Captain. They will beam over any moment.
Trick or treat, bitch. Yes.
Kirk, I should have known you'd try something underhanded like this. Weapons Master, fire all weapons on the Republic!
We can't, Captain. All weapon systems offline. Captain, the Enterprise is coming on high-speed approach.
Activate cloaking device, Kirk, until we meet again.
Not too soon, I hope.
Watch yourself, Captain. It may be sooner than you realize.
Enterprise to Captain Kirk. Are you safe, sir?
We're fine, Lieutenant.
Sir, we picked up another ship nearby, and we came as fast as we could. It appeared to cloak. Were you attacked by Romulans?
No, Ensign. It looks like the Alassi have been doing some business with him. Scotty, beam us back. We need to find that ship that attacked the Republic.
Aye, Captain.
Captain's log, stardate 6089.6. We are in pursuit of the starship that destroyed the Republic. Its trail is leading us to the planet Vardane, a member of the Federation whose motives have not always matched the high ideals of other Federation cultures.
Captain, I did not expect to hear you judge an entire culture. I understand the Republic.
I had bad experiences with the Vardane long ago, Mr. Spock.
Fascinating. Captain, I am reading a Constitution-class starship heading for Vardane at warp factor 5.
Captain, its transponder codes match ours.
Sensors indicate it is an exact duplicate of the Enterprise, including hull markings.
Open hailing frequencies. Increase to warp factor 8. Send a message to Starfleet. Open hailing frequencies.
Captain Kirk, this is the Enterprise 2. I am Dr. Ayaz Bradell of the Verdane Defense Force. You do remember me, don't you, Captain?
I remember you. 10 years ago, when I was on the Farragut, we exposed your unethical practices to the Vardane Council.
The old Verdane Council. Politics is such a fickle business. The new one is much less concerned with trivial concerns. I remember your part in my disgrace, which is why, when we began to construct our own Constitution-class ships, I insisted that we have our own Enterprise.
How did you manage to build a Constitution-class ship? You have 10 seconds to lower your shields and power down your weapons, or we will fire. You won't get away with this. The Vardane can't honestly expect to take on the entire Federation. How did you manage to build a Constitution-class ship?
Our intelligence network is better than yours, Captain. How else does one gather secret information?
You are a member of the Federation. You have signed Federation treaties.
And we shall break them. The Federation's interference in our internal affairs is intolerable.
You must have been building that ship long before the Turgan crisis.
Captain, all wars require justification. They aren't supposed to be fun. You have your justification and I have mine. Don't take diplomacy so seriously. However, Captain, I do intend to enjoy myself. I do intend to enjoy seeing Lieutenant Kirk's ship go up in flames. I shall laugh at the sight.
We'll see who gets the last laugh, Bridell. I'm sure you would. You're a fool, Bridell. You can't defeat a trained Federation crew unless you ambush them. We'll see who gets the last laugh, Bridell.
I have noted that the Federation enjoys talking, Captain. You may talk yourself to your grave. Prepare to be destroyed.
Mr. Sulu, full impulse, raise shields.
Raising shields.
Mr. Chekhov, weapons.
Arming weapons.
Alright, Mr. Sulu, bring us about. Upgrade powerful.
There are several Elassie ships closing rapidly along with our twin. It seems Bridell has called up reinforcements.
Focus your fire. Emergency power, Mr. Scott. Alright. Prepare the hall.
Aye, sir.
Sorry for all the missed dialogue there. Let's focus on we got the biggest right out of the way with the Enterprise too. Alright, Mr. Scott. You're on us again? Jesus. Alright, let's focus on yellow. Or someone. Get us out of here, Mr. Scott.
She can't take it, Captain.
Oh fuck, get us out of here, Mr. Sulu. Alright. If we can get the one down. If we can get yellow down, we might have a chance to make it. Alright, yellow down. Scott, focusing on that hall.
Aye, sir.
Missed. Bring us around, Mr. Sulu. Just check off lock weapons and fire. Bring us around again, Mr. Sulu. Maximum impulse, Mr. Sulu. Let's see if we can't catch up with him. Keep laying down phaser fire, Mr. Chekhov. Alright, we hit his nacelles. That should lower his power a bit. Stay on him, Mr. Sulu. Alright, we got him on the ropes. Full reverse, Mr. Sulu. All head forward, Mr. Sulu.
That's the last of them, Captain.
Well, that's over.
Duplicate Enterprise indeed. That alien contraption was no match for the real thing.
What if the Vardain have more Constitution-class vessels?
The Federation will blockade Vardain until they agree to destroy their weapons facilities and all non-authorized ships.
Message from Starfleet, Captain.
On screen, Lieutenant.
We have read your report on the destruction of the USS Republic and evaluate your performance at 100%. You and your crew received 4 commendation points. A perfect mission, Jim. You are a model for all Starfleet. We have reviewed your overall performance for this year at 100% Enterprise. Magnificent, Jim. Just magnificent. This will end up in the Starfleet Academy textbooks. My congratulations to you and your crew. They're talking about making you an admiral, Jim. But for now, I'm authorized to give you and your crew shore leave.
Shore leave at last. I know this great spot on Cameron's Star, Jim. You'll love it.
Where you will no doubt, Doctor, wallow in sensory overload and emotional display.
Well, heck, Spock, it wouldn't be any fun otherwise. Jim, we've got to find some way to get this Vulcan to let his ears down.
Spock, you will come with us, won't you?
I cannot let go by a chance to study the primitive and raw emotional outburst at the level I anticipate, Captain.
That's the spirit, Spock. Okay, Admiral. What are you waiting for?
I've got some adventure left in me before I accept an Admiral's desk job, Bones. Take us out of here, Mr. Sulu. Warp Factor 4. Very few people have the ability to fire up our imaginations and make us think about the human condition. Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek, was one of those people. He took us where no man has gone before and beyond. He created a starship, its crew, and an entire universe and brought them to life for millions of people. Without Gene, there would have been no Star Trek computer game or a Star Trek television series. Gene Roddenberry, born 1921, died 1991. We honor your memory.
Load a previously saved game.
And that's the game, ladies and gentlemen. That is the game. Interesting how the last battle was basically a super hard version of the first. What you don't see is the 20 or so attempts it took me to beat that battle. As I'm sure you'll have noticed by now, as I accidentally skipped all the dialogue with my mashing of the fire button, I inserted the dialogue for the first bit from another run, and then the second run I just held the that I didn't catch. I'll just hold it on screen for a little bit. But yeah, that's Star Trek 25th Anniversary, which I believe was critically acclaimed for its time. It's certainly a very good game. The puzzles are mostly, for the most part, they're something you can figure out on your own. It's not like some adventure games where you gotta figure out which concoction of crack, frog guts, and LSD the developers were on in order to think of the right combination of interactions to get the job done. And I think it stayed very true to the television series, and along with the animated series, I believe this makes a very good representation of year 4 of Captain Kirk's famous 5-year mission in his original Constitution class starship. And so obviously he did another 5-year stint with the refit Constitution, and then he did I believe 10 or 15 years with the Enterprise A. I'd have to look up exactly how long, but he was in command of that ship forever. Let's see. Discovery is 2250-ish, which puts Kirk's first 5-year mission at around 2260-ish. I believe the Khitomer Accords were around 2280, 2290-ish. So he was in that for a while. But I like this game. I like this game a lot. And certainly these episodes seem the Alasi, the Masada would probably have been a bit too dark for primetime TV back in the 60s. As would the well, maybe not. I mean, you had the Ultimate Computer episode where they blew up multiple ships, and of course the Planet Destroyer episode with Decker's ship pretty much destroyed. But for the most part, most of these episodes were like something you'd see directly out of a TV show, and I love that about this game. It's one of the games which I think are truest to the actual series. So, and just as an addendum to the memorial for Gene Roddenberry, I'd also like to take a moment of silence to represent some of the other crew that aren't with us today, namely DeForest Kelley, Leonard Nimoy, Majel Barrett as Nurse Chapel, although she didn't appear in this game. James Doohan, I think it was, Scotty's actor. Let's see, Kirk, Scotty, Uhura, Zulu, Chekhov, Bones, Spock. Yeah, I think that's it for the main cast, so I'd just like to take a moment of silence for them. And I believe that will wrap up this Let's Play. I think my only real complaint is with how dark the that last episode was, and then they ended on your typical TV high note. You know, like in the 60s and 70s, you always had to leave them laughing. But, yeah. That's it for this Let's Play. I hope you enjoyed it. And I can assure you that these are not the end of the continuing adventures and voyages of the USS Enterprise. So thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for next time, and we'll see you then.